Alright guys, so today we get to take a first look at the Corsair HS60 Haptic. I have had a blast using this headset for the past month. It's officially available as of today, and it comes in at $129. The reason I've enjoyed using these so much is because this is a gaming headset that has haptic feedback, which is essentially like the Skull Candy Crusher lineup. In fact, I feel like these are just as accurate in the different levels of bass tones. It's picking up even lower frequencies, and it's just added this whole other element to not only gaming. I've enjoyed using this for movies, and it's been insane to use this for music as well. Now, it does use a wired USB connection, so it is kind of limiting you to what you can use them on. You'll have to get different kind of adapters if you want to use it on your mobile device, but it is still capable of being used on other things outside of your PC. Now, these also use Corsair's IQ software, so if you are going to use it on a Mac or a PC, it allows you to have some different EQ options, but for me personally, I preferred the sound that they had right out of the box, so I didn't feel the need to EQ these in any way. Now, as far as the design and the build quality, I am going to start with the fact that I'm not a huge fan of the camouflage look that these have, and as far as I know, that's the only color scheme they're available in, but the build quality is absolutely solid. The ear cups have a plush memory foam. The headband actually has a stitched leather look to it, and I personally feel that it's more padding than it has to be because the headset is really light. It never feels like there's a lot of weight on the top of your head, and this is easily a pair that you can wear all day without them getting uncomfortable. I didn't even notice that the ear cups got too warm. Now, on the outside, it does look like a mesh grill, kind of like most open back headphones, but it is not open back. So that's really just there for looks. And as far as branding, it's pretty minimal on this headset. Other than the obnoxious camouflage, I think this is a really nice, even just studio looking headphone. And what keeps it looking that way is the fact that the mic is removable. So if you don't have the microphone on here, it looks just like a normal pair of studio headphones. Now, as far as your controls on here, everything is on the back side of the ear cups. On the left hand side, you have your volume wheel and your mic mute button, where on the right hand side, you have a wheel that's controlling that haptic bass. And I personally don't recommend using these all the way turned up, simply because the bass can get way overpowering, but we'll kind of talk about that a little bit later when we talk about the sound. Now, on the front side of the left ear cup is where you'll plug in your microphone, and I think Corsair did a very good job with the mic on these. I didn't feel like it sounded too digital. I don't feel like it sounded too far off from what my normal voice sounded like, but you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. Alright guys, so here is a mic test using the HS60 Haptic. I think it does a really good job of picking up my voice. I feel like it's a pretty good representation of what my actual voice sounds like. It picks up bass tones really nicely, but this is what it would sound like if you were to use it while gaming. So now let's talk about the sound. The sound, in my opinion, is the most exciting thing about this headset. The haptic feedback bass is just adding a whole other element to gaming, and not only that, just music and movies in general. Because if it's dialed all the way up, you're just going to have this rattle the hell out of your head. To the point where it's a little too much. So I found that dialing it back some definitely helped. But the huge plus is no matter how much bass you want to turn up or turn down, it's not affecting the mids and the highs. It feels like the bass is just completely separate from the mids and the highs. And the mids are pushed forward to the point where hearing dialogue and hearing subtle footsteps is done really nicely. Same thing with the treble. It's adding a lot of crystal clear details. This is just an excellent sounding pair of headphones. I personally already liked the original HS60s, and I didn't feel like they needed to do too much. So just adding a subwoofer to an already great sounding pair of headphones was just a huge plus. Now, as far as the sound stage and the sound imaging, this definitely sounds like a very open headset. And then being able to tell where things are coming from, if it's in front of you, behind you, any kind of directional sounds, this headset handles with no issues. Now, as great as I think these are, I do have a couple of cons with these. One is just merely cosmetic. I'm not a huge fan of the camouflage look. I would have definitely liked something a little more subtle. And then my only other complaint is the USB connection. I wish that they had a removable cable or maybe even a 3.5mm cable option so that you can plug it into some other things. And that's mainly because I like using this headset so much that I feel kind of limited because I can only use it plugged into a USB connection. And I'm hoping that maybe later down the line that they offer a wireless version to this, because if they do, I will definitely be all over that. But outside of that, this is a fantastic headset, not only for games, definitely for movies and music. It's just giving you a theater type experience for $129, which I think is adding a lot to its value. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Corsair HS60 Haptic. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.